Please be careful because some things are too precious to let slip through our fingers. There's a line that shouldn't be crossed, and once it is, the damage is often irreversible. I might smile, but trust me, there are things that I will not tolerate under any circumstances. Be cautious, for there are boundaries you don't want to test when it comes to my patience. You can push many limits, but some are sacred and I can't allow them to be crossed. I don't ask for much, but I do expect respect. Please be careful because I will not tolerate disrespect. The things I cannot tolerate are not petty, but they are powerful enough to change everything. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is know when to walk away and avoid what can't be tolerated. The silence you hear is my warning. There are things I will never accept, no matter what. It's not about what you do, but how you do it. There are things that I can't tolerate and won't let slide. The line between care and destruction is thin. Please be careful where you step. My tolerance has limits, and once crossed, there's no going back. I can forgive, but there are things that I just can't overlook. You don't always see the storm until it's too late. Be careful, there are things I won't accept. What you think is harmless might be the one thing I can't tolerate, so be mindful. Some things break even the strongest, and I need you to be careful, for this is one of them. It's not about me being dramatic, it's about knowing my limits. Please, don't test what I can't tolerate. There are things that can destroy trust, and once it's gone, nothing can replace it. I'll never tolerate betrayal, for it's a wound that time can't heal. You have to understand, there are moments that break me, and I can't tolerate that. Respect is the foundation, and once it's shattered, the rest crumbles. I can't tolerate lies because once the truth is lost, everything else becomes irrelevant. The heart can only handle so much, and there are things it won't recover from. What may seem small to others can be the very thing I can't stand. Please be careful. Once you cross the line, there's no turning back. Be mindful of what you do. There's power in knowing what you will and will not tolerate. Please choose wisely. I have patience, but there are limits to everything, and crossing that line is something I cannot forgive. There's a place in my soul that's reserved for respect. If you breach it, nothing can ever fix it. Don't mistake my silence for indifference. Some things are too deep to tolerate. You have to know the boundaries before you break them. I can't tolerate being pushed too far. Tolerance has its breaking point, and I've reached mine. I will always choose peace, but there are moments when standing up is necessary. When trust is lost, it's hard to find again. Please be careful. What I cannot tolerate is the erosion of what we've built. The hardest thing to do is let go of something that once meant everything, but there are things that leave me no choice. There are consequences to every action, and some consequences are too great to ignore. I believe in second chances, but there are things I can't allow myself to forget. Be careful of how you handle my heart. Once broken, it may never heal the same. Actions speak louder than words, and some actions are unforgivable. The hurt I can take, but disrespect is something I can't tolerate. Sometimes the only way to protect yourself is by knowing what you can't allow. Once trust is broken, it's impossible to rebuild without something sacred being lost. You only get so many chances, and once they're gone, you'll realize that I cannot tolerate being taken for granted. Some things are better left unsaid, but others cannot be ignored. Please be careful. I don't expect perfection, but I do expect honesty and respect. Anything less, I can't tolerate. There's a point where even the strongest will walk away, and that point is when I can no longer tolerate the hurt. Sometimes, the hardest part is knowing when to let go, because there are things that can't be forgiven. It's not the big things that break us, it's the little things we can't tolerate. You can hurt me once, but twice is something I will never tolerate. Please be careful, because I've learned to protect my peace from those who bring chaos. Every person has their limits, and I've reached mine. What seems trivial to you may be the last straw for me. I know my worth, and I can't tolerate being treated as anything less. The moment you lose respect, you lose everything. You don't have to understand my limits, but I ask that you respect them. I can handle many things, but there's one thing I will never tolerate: being disrespected. Some things once broken can never be fixed. Please be cautious of how you handle what's fragile.